During the spring and the summer, I was in a series of classes which put me in touch with about 30 or so different nonprofit agencies and their leaders here in Boone County. And I just met some amazing people doing amazing things. And one of those is Jillian Ashton. And I'm going to invite Jillian to come forward at this time and share with us a little bit about herself and her own life. Where are you? There she comes. She's coming with her friend Kuntz. Yes? Good. Hi, buddy. Come right on up here.
There you go. Thank you.
Good morning, Jillian.
Good morning.
Good. We're glad to have you here this morning.
Down. Thank you.
Good. Well done.
That's about all I know how to do with them, but that's...
Oh, that's pretty great. So, Jillian, we're really glad you're here. Welcome to Zionsville United Methodist Church.
Thank you.
Just tell us a little something about Jillian Ashton, like where were you born and how in the world did you end up in Zionsville?
Yeah, about 20 years ago, I grew up in the Pittsburgh area.
Okay.
And so I apologize, but I am a Steelers fan.
Well, it's been good. It's been good having you. Oh, I'm sorry.
But you have to understand, I grew up in the 70s, so if you didn't appreciate the Steelers at that point, I would have been disowned by my family. So grew up in Pittsburgh area, moved out here for a job right after college to work for my international sorority, which is housed here,
Okay.
a not-for-profit organization. And I've been here 20 years since and been in not-for-profit ever since, different types of industries that I've worked for. So that's what brought me to Indianapolis.
Great. Tell us about your family.
My family recently married in September of last year, and so my husband Brett and I are now in the Zionsville community, and we have triplet 17-year-olds.
Holy cow.
So I'll take your prayers for
Oh,
sure.
that's awesome,
on that
yeah.
one. As
Yeah.
a new mom, and then triplets and 17, so
Wow.
that adds up to a lot.
So tell us, you're working in a life outside the church, but you have a faith of your own.
Absolutely, yeah.
And tell us a little bit about your faith. I mean, was it always part of your life, or how did you come to it, or have there been significant moments that
Absolutely.
really gave it its place in your life?
Yeah, I was raised in a Christian home and Christian schools for about 12 years, and always knew about Christ and knew about the place in my life for faith. But it wasn't until December 15th of 2005 that I really became a Christian, I believe. I was sitting listening to the nativity story out of Luke, and I had heard it a million times. And in that period of my life, I was about 33, not married, and really wanted a family very desperately. And
Well, let me just say, you got triplets. You probably prayed too hard.
I might have prayed too hard.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, go ahead.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair statement. So at that point, wasn't in a relationship, wasn't married, and I thought, I don't know if this will ever happen for me. But listening to the nativity story and understanding how God gave his only son at that point as a little baby, right? You've got this little nurturing child that needs love and care, knowing that 33 years later he was going to die on the cross. Yeah. And I thought, I want a family so desperately, I could never even imagine giving up my only child to all of you or to somebody, to strangers, right? Yeah. So at that moment, I thought, if he did that for me, he must love me a lot. And I was baptized and rebaptized. I was baptized as a Catholic, but then I was baptized again at Northview Christian Church and kind of reproclaimed my faith to Christ.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
Now
It is awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you're doing something really awesome right now.
Yeah.
You are with ICANN, which is the Indiana Canine Assistance Network. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, what in the world is the Indiana Canine Assistance Network? Tell us what you do.
Yeah, so as their executive director, I lead the organization, of course. But our mission is to train service dogs for people living with disabilities in Indiana. But we do it uniquely. We train them in prisons throughout the state. So we have inmates that are interviewed and selected, and they are provided with a 9-month or 9-week-old coons, and they take care of them for 24 4 hours, 7 days a week for 2 years and train them to be ready then for service.
Holy cow. So like 2 years that dog is with this person.
Yes.
That must be, we have people who have been engaged in prison ministry here.
Yes.
But that must be an amazing thing for a prisoner to have a purpose in their life, yes?
Yeah, there's a gentleman up at the maximum security prison in Pendleton, and a few months ago I was visiting with him, and he had been incarcerated since he was 22, and now he's probably in his 40s. And he had said, just because I'm in prison does not mean I need to be imprisoned. And I thought it was very powerful because he said, just because I'm here, that doesn't mean I can't contribute to other people and do things for other people. And that's why he wanted to be part of our program. And he worked really hard to get there because you do have to have certain criteria. They can't be in trouble. They have to be good inmates, if you will, and know how to do prison well, because this is a big responsibility, and they also have a lot of privileges in the prison environment because they have a dog. And so I thought that was really, sometimes they're just dogs.
Yeah.
And so that was very telling to me that this individual understood that he can still contribute to the world's work right where he's at in his way.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are just not every dog. Like what is it? What just financially? What's the investment in a dog between the time you get a dog and the time that dog goes out to help somebody?
Yeah, well, the investment obviously is heartfelt too.
Yes,
there's
sure.
There's a big piece of your heart that goes out to these animals. But financially, we figure it's about $26,000 to train him and then support the clients on the other end.
Yes.
And our clients on the other end are often individuals with mobility concerns or disabilities. We also place with diabetes, so folks that have might be going hypo or hyperglycemic, the dog will alert them and let them know to take insulin or eat something. And then we also place with our veterans who have mobility and post-traumatic stress disorder. And so that support after the dog is placed with that person is critical, and we follow them yearly, maybe even see them 2 or 3 times a year. So it's an investment about $26,000 to get this dog in the person's hands, but we only charge our clients $1,600.
Okay.
So there's a big gap there, but we have very good funders and people who help us be able to make this happen. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know whether that was you that said that, but you're kind of doing good things at both ends of the leash, right?
That's
Both
right.
ends of the leash. So.
We like to say we're unleashing abilities on both ends because it's really critical.
Well, listen, just first of all, on behalf of our church, we're gonna give you a check for $500.
That was very unexpected.
Well, that's all right.
Thank you. I thought I was just coming to share time with you.
Well, I know sharing time with me, I'd like to think it's a wonderful thing, but it's not worth $500. So we're going to give you this.
Kind.
If
Thank
somebody
you.
here felt a tug on their heart today to support you or your network, I don't even know what all you need, but surely you must need some volunteers or food or money or any kinds of things. How would they be able to do that?
Yeah, so of course, in this technology world, our website, icandog.org, is the place to go to learn more about our organization. Because Coons is in the Indiana Women's Prison and he lives there, we do have volunteers that take the dogs out of the prison environment for a couple weeks at a time and give them the social experiences that they need that their client will have. So going to church and ball games and movies and all those kinds of things. So we have volunteers that actively are involved in that way. And then I would just say the main thing is pray for our leadership and pray for our organization that we continue to change hearts and that we're able to get the dogs into the hands of people that need them. We have about 70 people waiting for a dog right now, and those are adults and children that need this. And so I'm always challenged to figure out a way, how can we get them to them faster?
Yeah, sure.
And so I could use your prayers on how to make that happen. So
when church is over, you can just come out and shake hands with us.
Shake paws.
And shake paws if you'd like to. I think the dog will take petting.
Yes.
Jillian, we're so glad that you're here.
you.
You're doing an awesome work.
Thank you.
And God bless you. And friends, Jillian Ashton.
Thank you so much.